You do not want to regret getting the wrong laptop for your needs. We all know that Lenovo, as the biggest PC manufacturer, has got quite the following. And many of you mobile PC gamers are huge fans of the Lenovo Legion series of gaming laptops. But the big question that everybody seems to have, do I go Slim or do I go Pro? Lenovo and Intel did jointly sponsor this video, but I assure you that all thoughts and opinions are my own. And there's no bias between the two because they're both Lenovo laptops. Doesn't matter to me which one you get. We're going to compare the design and build quality, the internals, ports, screen quality, sound quality, fan noise, battery life, thermals, performance and gaming benchmarks for creators, and my overall top pros and cons for each so that you don't regret getting the wrong one for your needs. Yes, the new Gen 9 for the Pro has just been released, but it's barely any faster and way more expensive at $1,000 more than this one. What I've got here for you is a much better bang for your buck. This is our full comparison between the Lenovo Legion SLIM 7i Gen 8 and the Lenovo Legion Pro 7i Gen 8. Both of these gaming laptops have 4070 GPUs and are powered by 13th generation Intel Core i9 processors, the Slim with an i9 13900H and the Pro with a slightly more powerful i9 13900HX. Both currently on sale until March 17th. When it comes to design, they do share a few things in common. The backside of the lids are pretty much identical, obviously a bit thinner on the Pro with a thinner hinge, which led to quite a bit more screen wobble, and just overall not as strong and sturdy feeling as the Pro. You can see it's still wobbling. We've got the same exact size touchpads on both, the Slim with a more soft and gentle quiet click to it, while the Pro has more of a solid and confident click to it, which I like a little bit better. The sound of the keys is very similar on the Pro versus the Slim as well. But as far as the actual feel of the key presses, again, the winner is the Pro. Those deeper key presses just give you a little bit more confidence with each hit. I prefer the look of the Pro version too. That RGB just pops a lot better against the black keys. And I absolutely love that light bar in the front. It looks slick. Above the keyboard on the Slim, we've got extra ventilation and a ring power button, which is also a fingerprint reader. I've been using the Slim as my main computer for several months now, and it's been a game changer to be able to use that for all of my passwords and just simply quickly unlocking my computer. Surprisingly, the Pro does not have that feature. Not too worried about the Pro having no vents here at the top, as everywhere else it has way better ventilation than the Slim does. And then lastly, at the top of both screens, we've got our 1080p webcams. This is what the audio and video quality look and sound like on the webcam for the Pro, and this is what the audio and video quality look and sound like on the webcam for the Slim. Stacking them on top of each other, you can see just how much thicker the Pro is and how much bigger its vents are. On the right side, both have a webcam shutoff switch for those that are paranoid about creepy hackers watching you. Here, the Slim has a very valuable feature for all the creators like myself, a full-size SD card reader. Unfortunately, you don't get that on the Pro, but you do have one extra USB, and then a headphone and microphone combo jack. That port is on the left side on the Slim, along with two more USB-C ports. The Pro mixes it up a little bit with one USB-C and one USB-A. On the back, both have an HDMI port, the Pro with two USB-As, one USB-C, and also an RJ45 Ethernet jack, and the Slim with 3 USB-As. Overall, what the Pro has over the Slim when it comes to ports is one extra USB-A and that RJ45 Ethernet jack, while the main benefits of the Slim are that full-size SD card slot, and another cool feature that I think that all laptops should have, illuminated icons over the ports on the back. This makes it incredibly easy to find your ports in the dark. On the bottom, you can see that both have very similar intake ventilation, but once we remove the bottom panels, we can see a little bit more how much they differ. The battery on the Slim looks bigger, but they're actually the same size with capacities of 99.9 watt hours. This is actually the maximum legally allowed. You won't find any laptop with a bigger battery than this. Both have 2 SSD slots for high-speed storage. The main difference here is RAM upgradability. You can upgrade both RAM sticks on the Pro, but the Slim has only one slot that's upgradable. The other one that you can't see here is actually soldered on. The other difference is the size of the speakers, and you can see here that they're a bit larger on the Pro version, which brings us to sound quality. Just as I expected with those bigger speakers, we had a bit better sounding audio on the Pro that was also louder with better bass. As far as the fan noise on the Pro model, we were able to get 40.7 decibels when in quiet mode, and as low as 40.5 decibels on the Slim. But then when moving up to the performance fan profile, on the Pro we got just under 53 decibels. And then quite a bit quieter on the Slim at just over 50 decibels. For every 1 decibel, it gets exponentially louder, so even seemingly small differences are a big deal. Now for the thermals. Here in our thermal imaging time-lapse from the moment both computers were turned on to when they were fully engaged in gaming, you can see where all the main hot areas are. The Pro shoots a lot of that heat out the sides and the back, while the Slim releases a lot of that heat along that ventilation just under the screen. That area does get super hot, so I wouldn't touch it for that long, but there's not really a reason to. Neither of them are too hot on the sides to comfortably rest your mouse hand, regardless of whether you're left or right-handed. The backs are fine too, as long as you're not resting raw flesh against them. And then you can see on the bottoms that the Slim does get a bit hotter than the Pro does. This would only be uncomfortable though during the most intense rendering tasks or extreme gaming. And then only for those dude bros exposing their quads and wearing short shorts. But then again, no pain, no gain, am I right? In our actual gaming test though, you can see that the Legion Pro with its more powerful CPU, as expected, even with more room for ventilation, its CPU was quite a bit hotter here. About 12% hotter on average. However, the script gets flipped with the GPU temperatures, as the Slim with the exact same 4070 GPU as the Pro, it actually had about 2.5% hotter GPU temperatures overall. Performance and gaming benchmarks, the most important part of this comparison. In our Cinebench R23 test, the Pro absolutely crushed the Slim when it came to the multi-core score. This is a rendering test, so if you're a 3D artist, you're definitely going to want to pick up the Pro. Pretty much all the main rendering softwares can utilize multiple cores, so that's the most important score out of these two. And yet another helpful test for you 3D renderers is the V-Ray benchmark. And these are our V-Ray performance scores for both side by side. This is a CPU test, and again, the Pro is significantly faster here. The GPU scores were very close here, so if you do a lot of high polygon 3D modeling or real-time viewport rendering, it's not going to make much of a difference which one you go with. Same thing with our Blender benchmark as far as the CPU scores go, but surprisingly the Slim beat the Pro for the GPU score. Now if you're a creator that does a lot of editing, I'd go for the Pro here as well. You can see with our basic multi-layer 10-minute long video edits for 4K and 1080p on both DaVinci and Premiere that the Pro again comes out on top. So with really big edits that take a long time to export, that's going to save you quite a bit of time. Our DaVinci exports show the Pro to be 23% faster with 4K, 25% faster in 1080p, and in Premiere 4% faster with 4K and 11% faster in 1080p. For 3D Mark, which is a great benchmark used to determine a computer's overall gameability, you can see side by side how much better the Pro scored when it came to the CPU. If you're looking to use this laptop to upgrade your PC VR gaming setup, these were our VR Mark scores. The Pro was just slightly in the lead here. And then with actual gameplay, these were our average FPS for 6 different games at the native 2560 by 1600 resolution. The Pro is just so barely faster here that it's really not going to make a difference. About 4% more FPS overall. When it came to the quality of the display, we ran our normal SpiderX Pro display analysis, and I was very pleased with the results. 100 sRGB and 79% Adobe RGB on the Slim, and 99% sRGB and 78% Adobe RGB on the Pro. I could already tell that color accuracy was on point, but this just confirmed it. And then for the brightness, both actually peaked past the 500 nits that was advertised. Playing a black video and turning off all the lights revealed that they didn't have any issues with light bleed either. And motion clarity was way past anything that I would personally need at 240 Hz, but it really did make for some incredibly smooth gameplay. As far as the battery life, pretty impressive for both. When setting the screen brightness to 50%, the refresh rates to 60 Hz, RGB lighting off, and iGPU mode, you can see that the Slim hit 6 hours and the Pro 6 hours and 20 minutes with HD streaming. That's pretty awesome considering I could have set my parameters even lower. This just goes to show you how much more efficient these Intel processors are getting as the technology matures. And then we got even better battery life in our idle test with 7 hours and 20 minutes on the Pro and 7 hours and 40 minutes on the Slim. Almost 8 hours of battery life. And then when it came to recharging with rapid charge enabled, we got 50% recharged in only 16 minutes, 44 minutes got us up to 90%, and 1 hour and 25 minutes to get you to that full 100. That last 10% is always the most stubborn. But yeah, as you can see, both laptops performed very similar to each other here. Gaming in battery mode is the worst idea and will result in very poor performance, extremely low FPS, and a horrendous battery life, so I didn't even run that test. Overall, the main pro of the Pro is how much better it does at rendering tasks with that Intel i9-13900HX processor. And its biggest weaknesses are actually the Slim's biggest strengths. The Slim is priced several $100s less as of this recording, so that one's going to give you much better gaming performance for your dollar. The Slim also has those illuminated icons above the rear ports, which is actually a bigger breath of fresh air than you might think, and it's got a fingerprint reader and a full-size SD card reader. These features and its sleek and lightweight design, without having crazy temperatures, make it feel a little bit more like a premium product than the Pro in my opinion. And it's less expensive. But if you really need that extra rendering power, really need one extra USB-A port and an Ethernet jack, then I'd go with the Pro. If you do decide to purchase one of these Lenovo laptops, make sure you do so by March 17th, the last day they're on sale. And please remember to use my affiliate links in the comments and description below, as I get a small commission at no cost to you for every single purchase made. And it's actually a major factor in keeping this channel going and getting better and better for you. If you're one of those people looking for a different configuration than the ones that I have here, I've got links for you too. And just because I know I'm going to get comments like, is this good for school or is it good for work? The answer is yes. Any computer that's good for both 4K editing and high resolution gaming like a champ is also good for those things. These two that I compared are actually kind of overkill for that. So below the two links for these two computers that I reviewed, I'm also going to have some more links for exclusive deals and more customizable configurations. Thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you in the next one.